For years, Pakistan has tried to project an image of normalcy in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, or PoJK. But today, that image is cracking. Across Muzaffarabad, Rawalakot, Mirpur and several other districts, thousands of people have poured onto the streets. They are protesting against what they describe as political injustice, economic neglect, and the Pakistani state's growing repression. And this time, the protests have turned deadly. Recent clashes between Pakistani security forces and supporters of the Joint Awami Action Committee, or JAAC, have left several people dead. While news agency Reuters reported 9 deaths in the latest violence, other local reports have put the toll even higher at around 12. Local estimates suggest that over 30 people have lost their lives since the unrest began last month. What started as a political dispute has now become one of the biggest public mobilizations seen in PoJK in recent years. At the heart of the controversy are 12 seats in the PoJK assembly that are reserved for refugees from Jammu and Kashmir who live elsewhere in Pakistan. Protesters argue that these seats dilute the political voice of local residents and allow Islamabad to maintain influence over the region's politics. The issue intensified after a court ruling upheld the constitutional protection of these seats. But the anger runs much deeper than electoral representation. The JAAC, which has emerged as the face of the movement, has submitted a 38-point charter of demands. These include demands for economic relief, affordable electricity, employment opportunities, better governance, judicial reforms, and greater rights over local resources. Residents say they are tired of decades of neglect. Instead of addressing these grievances, Pakistan chose a familiar path: force. The authorities banned the JAAC under anti-terror laws. Hundreds of protesters were detained. Sedition charges were filed against leaders. Internet services were suspended. Public gatherings were restricted, and according to reports, more than 16,000 security personnel were deployed across the region. The message from Islamabad appeared clear: dissent would not be tolerated. But the crackdown only made the anger stronger. Thousands gathered in Muzaffarabad despite the restrictions.
We have gathered here to peacefully seek our rights. Our only demand is that we be granted our fundamental rights and freedom of expression. Yet our internet services are suspended, communication networks are disrupted, and essential supplies are restricted.
This is a highly civilized, peaceful, and decent protest. A protest conducted within the bounds of the law and the constitution. It rejects the government's narrative that these people are terrorists. These people are peaceful. The real terrorist is the government, which tries to suppress this peaceful voice through coercion and force.
That statement reflects a larger complaint that has echoed across PoJK for years. The latest unrest has once again brought attention to long-standing allegations against Pakistan's security establishment. Meanwhile, another serious allegation has surfaced. Reports suggest that Pakistani authorities may be attempting to infiltrate terrorists linked to the Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed into the protest movement. The concern is that violence could be triggered deliberately to portray the JAAC-led agitation as extremist and justify an even harsher crackdown. If true, it would fit a pattern critics have long accused Pakistan of following, and that is using terrorist networks and then using security concerns to suppress genuine public dissent. For years, activists and rights groups have accused Pakistani authorities of suppressing dissent in PoJK through arbitrary arrests, intimidation of political workers, restrictions on free speech, enforced disappearances, and the excessive use of force against critics. Now, residents say the crackdown is affecting daily life in ways that go far beyond politics. Fuel shortages have disrupted transportation. Movement restrictions have made access to hospitals difficult. Internet blackouts have cut people off from information and communication.
People are unable to travel even for medical treatment. Our access to essential supplies has been blocked and restrictions have been imposed on our movement. This injustice must end.
The hardships are being felt by ordinary families every day.
The first and biggest problem caused by the lack of petrol is for our patients and our children. Bringing them to the hospital has become extremely difficult. The administration has created these major hardships by shutting off petrol supplies, and it seems they are deliberately trying to make life unbearable for the patients and the general public.
Similar complaints are being heard throughout the region.
Just to get a single bottle of petrol, we have been roaming around the entire city. The fuel that was already in our motorcycle has also run out, yet petrol is unavailable anywhere. We are facing serious difficulties. The administration should ensure the supply of petrol for the convenience of the public so that people can maintain mobility and attend to urgent needs during emergencies.
For many residents, the crisis is no longer only about political representation. It is about survival.
Right now, people are starving to death in their homes. No one is getting any rations or water from anywhere. Shops are not open. Meanwhile, the officials here are putting out announcements claiming that shops are open, traffic is running, and everything is functioning normally. But those of us who actually live here know very well whether anything is really open or not.
India has reacted strongly to the developments. India's Ministry of External Affairs said the protests are a direct consequence of Pakistan's decades-long systemic exploitation, denial of fundamental rights and administrative oppression in territory under its illegal occupation. New Delhi accused Pakistan of responding with excessive police brutality, blocking food and medicine supplies, enforcing internet blackouts, and using lethal force against unarmed civilians. The events unfolding in PoJK expose a reality that Pakistan often tries to hide. For decades, people in the region have complained of political marginalisation, economic exploitation, and restrictions on basic freedoms. Today, those restrictions are no longer confined to private conversations. They are being shouted on the streets. And despite arrests, bans, internet shutdowns, and deadly force, the protests continue. That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.